So Arc Raiders and Embark Studios just dropped a huge bombshell on the Arc Raider community. Now, we knew changes were coming, but this is big, okay? They're completely abandoning their monthly update schedule, completely getting rid of it, okay? The new plan moving forward is 2 updates a year, 2 major updates a year, okay? So what does this mean for us as Raiders of the Ark? So what's actually coming? The short term, it mentions in the article that they came out with. I'll link it down below. It's right here. It mentions in the article that a new level 25 trader arrives next week. Okay. This is kind of a band-aid for in-game players, right? Because we get to that point where, okay, I don't care about my stuff anymore, right? Especially since they changed how they did the expedition last time, where it was based on damage. So we really didn't care about our stuff at that point. Like, we seriously didn't care. So, yeah. This trader can give you extra stash space and an expedition vault to carry up to 5 items from you leaving on your expedition to starting your new one. So the wipe will no longer be a clean wipe. So those extra blueprints, weapons you might want to bring, or whatever it is you might want to bring, your 9 million seeds. If you brought over a bunch of seeds, like 5 stacks of 100, that could help out at the very beginning of your next expedition, buying stuff from Celeste. That might be an interesting way to go about it. That gives options, but it's no longer a clean wipe. So, the long term, the first biannual update will be called Frozen Trail, and it drops in October, so 7 months from now. 5 months from now. It will bring the games, they're calling it the game's largest map, so it's going to be a big map, okay? New Arc enemies, and an expanded skill tree, and story elements exploring the origins of the Ark. What I argue here, the story got completely stale. The wiping and restarting should not restart the story. Having to redo the same opening quests over and over again is wild. To me, that kind of shows lack of foresight in terms of the story, not the gameplay, but the story itself, okay? So what are some pros and cons? Okay, some extra pros and cons. Let's start with the pros, okay? Developer health. A monthly cycle in a game that got this big for developers is rough. It can cause burnout on the developer side. This new schedule gives the developers breathing room to actually make good content, to be more creative. For those of you that came over from Call of Duty who whine, bitch, and complain about Call of Duty never being fresh, always being the same old bullshit, and just being about skins, that's because COD releases every year, right? And then they said they were going to do a 2-year cycle, and then they said, no, we're not going to do that, just kidding. So this could potentially be a good thing. It could ramp up the creativity, okay? Deeper fixes. So instead of rushing small tweaks, Embark has the opportunity to focus on massive foundational improvements like their anti-cheat. Embark, I'm talking to you, your anti-cheat. Some economy balancing that desperately needs to happen, and deep progression reworks. Not just a skill tree update. Okay, I'm talking how we play the game in terms of leveling up, in terms of our workshops. Why do I have all these seeds and I can't even plant my own, I can't plant my own Great Mullen? Like, why is that? Okay, why can't I get specific seeds? Why is there only one type of seed? Like, things like that could make the game so much more robust than just a simple extraction shooter. Okay? When updates drop, they will be very, very exciting. Okay, because I will say that the monthly updates, while nice, have kind of been there's right? It'll be massive, meta defining for the game itself rather than just a patch. Okay? Now the cons, the waiting game. 6 months is a lifetime in the live service space. Okay, so they're gonna have to continue to make small updates to keep the game fresh and alive. Okay, because if not, if they're only updating this game twice a year and that's it, it's going to create content droughts. It's going to create huge issues for the game of it becoming stale. The biggest one is the high risk. If Frozen Trail, if any of the big updates, the biannual updates, if any of them are bad, Embark is in trouble. They have to hit home runs every 6 months. If they miss and they're trying to patch to make the big update, the big drop better, they will be in trouble. In terms of, because players will walk away. The casual players will walk away, right? The more hardcore player, in terms of, hey, we love this game, we'll probably stick around for a little while unless it's really bad. If they strike out on any one of these, it could be a bad deal for them, okay? So that waiting game, and it's high risk to do something like this. Now, here's some of my takes on this. It's a little bit of broken trust. When we got into this Arc Raiders thing, and I've been playing since the beta and the server slam and all that jazz, we were kind of sold on a live service game that would have monthly updates. And for a lot of us, that was one of the major selling points. Yes, it had to be a good game, which it is. I mean, it's a great game. But it had that, okay, cool, it's going to be fast-paced. There's always going to be something new and fresh. And that seems like is going away. Okay? So it feels like a little bit of a bait and switch, right? Also, this could potentially be a money grab. Potentially, okay? Major playable content is being slashed to twice a year, okay? But store updates are not going anywhere. They're going to update that store once a week. Okay? That looks bad, to throttle gameplay updates and to throttle your roadmap, but still update your store and expect players to give you money for a lot less in return, even in the short term. That is a bad look. You're keeping your microtransactions running full steam ahead, but you're giving us less gameplay in the short term. Now, if those 6-month updates are actually 6 months worth of gameplay update, okay, cool, it's a fair trade-off. But very rarely does that happen in the gaming space where that payoff is the same. Okay? So that is very concerning for me. As someone who's put in a significant time into this game, and I've bought stuff from the store, I buy the little $24.99 little packs and stuff like that, right? Because I want the coins to buy more stuff, and if I like a skin, I'm going to get a skin, right? But if you're continuing to update your store and not giving me gameplay in return, I will simply stop doing that, right? How about weekly decks that we can earn along with store updates? How about we trade off? How about we get a little bit of creativity on the decks? Because we get those once a wipe. I still have cred from the very first season, the very first, like when we first started, because there was no cred cap. And the stuff the stuff from the traders to buy with cred is ass. So I don't spend my cred. I literally still have almost 1,600 cred. I'm still double the cred cap because you don't give me meaningful things to do with that cred until you drop a deck. And then I could just rip through and buy the whole deck. And I'm like, okay, cool. There's no reason for me to do challenges now. I guess I'll just do the same fucking quests over and over again, which is cool. You know, I wipe, like it's a choice to wipe. But how about we update things like that? So, my call to action to you guys. What is your guys' take on this? Is Embark making a smart move to save the game's quality? So, quality over quantity argument? Or do we think this is a broken trust issue and a cash grab? Is it a mix between those pros and cons? What do you guys think? I want your takes down in the comments. Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.